This podcast is part of the Shareable Podcast Network. Learn more at shareable.fm. Not every guest takes me up on the opportunity, but I like to do a segment called The Mic Swap, where I make my guest into the host, and then I become the guest. I let them take the conversation wherever they want to take it, ask me whatever they want, and it's a lot of fun, I think. This is Mic Swap.
I'm Leslie Ehm, and now I'm the host of Shareable. Okay, Jeff Gibbard, worst superhero power ever.
The ability to grow your hair.
Best superhero power ever.
The entire Spider-Man set. And if it's like, if I can't have the full superhero set, I would say telekinesis. There's just like the everything power. You can move stuff with your mind.
If you could only have one swear word in your vocab for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh my God, that's such an awesome question. It would definitely be fuck. There's just nothing that hits as hard. It's like, it has a certain like thwack to it that nothing else does.
You have a 5-hour window to do whatever you want. What are you doing?
Oh God, I can't talk about this online.
Well, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
I guess I could.
Waka, 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 waka. Let me just give you some music. Waka, 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 wow, wow, wow. Okay, I think that answers my question.
Okay, cool.
If someone came to you and asked to borrow $1,000, would you say yes or no? You have 2 seconds.
No.
If you could fly somewhere, business class, but only stay there for 2 hours, where would you go?
Japan.
Only for 2 hours, Japan. Wow, that's lofty, dude. Okay.
I would go there and I would eat pork curry at Coco Curry and probably eat a bowl of ramen, and then I would get back on the plane. Maybe drink a whole bunch of sake while I was there as well.
You have to give up two social media platforms. Which are they?
Facebook and Instagram.
You only get to use one social media platform for the rest of your life, regardless of what's invented. That gets a dumb question, but no. Which one are you choosing?
Twitter.
What's the best thing that you've ever heard someone say on Twitter?
Best thing I've ever heard someone say on Twitter. Holy crap, that's a really good. So it was. Oh God, it was such a good one too. It was somebody replying to a tweet. The tweet said, being perpetually angry feels like disheartening and toxic, but being disengaged and apathetic feels irresponsible. And then the person replied to it, Siri, please describe 2020 in a tweet. And I thought that was like, because especially at the time, it was like, everything was on fire, and it just felt like I can't be angry all the time, but I also can't pretend that this stuff isn't happening. Too many people are being harmed by like all the things that are happening. So it's this dichotomy. So I thought that was among one of the most like profound sets of tweets I saw.
You can have dinner with anyone, living or dead. Who is it?
I know it's supposed to be rapid fire, but like, I'm like, gut check, like, I guess it live or dead. You know, it
live or dead.
God, that's a really tough one. I think I would probably just say Seth Godin at this point.
Oh, we can make that happen. I'm sure we could make that happen.
I know we have a number.
We all know people. Yeah, we all know people who know Seth.
Like, I was really deciding because there's like a handful of people that I'm like, I would really like Stan Lee, like just to sit down and chat with him about like where he came up with it. Like that would be such a like geek out moment.
Would you be worried about like wasting it or something? Is that why you went with Seth Godin?
I guess I just feel like I have a hard time with like the bringing back the dead part of it. And I think like talking to a zombie just kind of weirds me out.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you could be an Olympic champion at any sport, what would it be?
Basketball.
Oh, that was like there was a poignancy in that answer.
When I was 13, all I wanted in this world was to be a professional basketball player. I feel like if I could go to any string universe, it would be the one where I became a professional basketball player that was successful, and I could just watch that.
Okay, I've just given you that moment then. Look at the little dreaminess just crept into your eyes, which is a beautiful thing. I got you right in the Kishkas with that one.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice that your dad ever gave you?
Don't lie. I lied to him when I was like, maybe like 4 or 5. And he was like, it's, now I don't know if I can trust you, and it's going to take a little while and it was like a gut punch.
Oh yeah.
And it literally, from that point on, I was like, lying is not an option, because I remembered that disappointment, and holy crap, it was so much. So yeah, don't lie. I'm sure there was a lot of other things you said that were really important. Like, find something you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. That's probably the one that actually is more relevant to like how my life has played out. So I'm going to give you the answer B is that one.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to make the last one a good one. What's the last question for Jeff Gibbard? What's going to reveal things about Jeff that nobody would know? What is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you?
Holy, that is such oh man.
By the way, for people listening, I get to watch his face while he's doing this, which is just half the fun of this, because he's turning a little red. He's rubbing his head. He's trying to figure out, do I say it?
The honest answer is that there have been a number of things in my life that I'm embarrassed about, but probably the most embarrassing there was a time in college where I really hurt someone that was close to me by making a joke that at the time I thought was really funny, but turned out later to be like truly super racist and messed up. And I look back on that and I think like, what the hell was I thinking? And what kind of a person am I? And it was like a majorly shook, and I'm still embarrassed by it. Like even saying it right now, I feel embarrassed saying that, but like I have to appreciate the fact that we are people that are imperfect and in flux and growing. And that's one of the things I'm more embarrassed about still to this day than anything else that has happened to me.
Well, that tells us a lot about who you are. So thank you for that. Well, I can safely say, Jeff, that this episode has been shareable.